Christmas is making its way around the world. Well, right now, this is Switzerland. Where I am, the sun is shining and there's a beautiful view of the lake. The weather is wonderful, warm, I must say. And the grass is green, the grass and bouquets of roses, small roses, but the bouquets are in full bloom. It's a really good mood when the sun is out. When there's no sun, of course, the mood also gets worse. What I want to tell you on the eve of the holiday is this. Friends, decorate your home, ornaments, Christmas trees, the balcony. Let it shine at your place. Even if none of your neighbors have it, let it shine at your place. Of course, everyone has a different situation. You understand that we're not all in the same boat. Everyone has their own situation, their own circumstances. That's why we can't say that everyone should do the same thing. Naturally, everyone has their own ways of celebrating, right? Some people just bake pies, some celebrate at home. By the way, that's how the Swiss live. When I came to Switzerland, my friends, that was ages ago. Yes, the Soviet Union still existed back then. So when I arrived in Switzerland, I had meetings. And these meetings were always at the very top level. It was truly the top of the Swiss establishment. Actually, no, it wasn't even the establishment. It was private. That is, these were private banks. These were large private companies like Nestlé and banks. I won't name the bank because these are very famous and very, very large banks. I wanted to say that the owner of one of the oldest banks, his grandfather, there's even a monument to his grandfather in Geneva. And his grandfather was actually one of the people who organized Switzerland. What was that? What was the story? We don't know. This banker himself, the one who owns a huge bank, of course he has some books. By the way, I saw the earliest books by year in his collection. It was the year 1799. The books are old. I rummaged through his library in his office, so to speak. I asked for permission a little bit. Well, actually, no, at first without permission. Friends, I have this character trait, bad or good, I don't know. Sometimes I don't ask for permission if I'm not doing anything wrong. And here, I just looked through the extensive library, where quite apparently nothing truly significant was really hidden, just, well, transparent glass shelves meticulously arranged with numerous books, so the books themselves were carefully placed on delicate waxed paper of a distinct yellowish color, giving them an aged and somewhat fragile appearance. Parchment like parchment, right? They were kind of yellowish brown in color, and the year was 1799. That's the earliest I've ever seen in history. If anyone tells you about some year in the 1500s, don't believe it. There are no such books because everything earlier is hidden away. Nothing is put on display. So, what I want to say, friends, is that history is of course different, but that's not our topic now. We're talking about the Swiss gnomes, Swiss rich people. The Swiss, how they live. At that time, I was told something for the first time and I just couldn't understand it because Russian psychology has completely different priorities and mentality. The thing is, the Swiss live in old houses, sometimes not renovated on the outside, but they stand just fine. The houses don't look wealthy, but inside when you go in, Vanya told me, inside, as soon as you enter, it's astonishingly luxurious. That is, everything inside is luxurious. The furniture is antique and everything is very beautiful. I don't know what it's finished with, but overall it's quite beautiful. That's what's inside. But on the outside it's always very modest. That's how the Swiss live. I asked, Vanya, why is that? And he said, well, that's just how they live. It's their mentality, not to show anything off on the outside. Because of the people's uprising, everyone remembers and knows about it. Apparently back then it was very important, the people's uprising. That's why no one decorates the outside. That's in Russia. And I'm no different, friends. I'm from Russia too. So I decorated my house in cup table beautifully as well. Everything was done elegantly at my place. Well, then of course the house got trashed. Because when a house ends up in the hands of Sobakeviches, Sharikovs, Bobikovs, these Bobiks, of course, only know how to ruin things and nothing else. They can't do anything. They don't know how to work. That's why they're Bobiks. Because a Bobik is a yard dog that basically is afraid of its owner and only knows how to eat and poop. That's what Bobiks are. Of course, they also know how to lift their leg. That's another Bobik habit. Our country is unique. But I want to tell you, with the holidays approaching, you really should pay a little attention to your lifestyle. And right now, don't try to look flashy on the outside. Of course, you want to, of course. But tell me, where do you put your life? Well, the holidays have started, and after the holidays, a storm will begin. It won't be soon, but it will start. The storm after the holidays. That's why you need to understand that many of you will have to dress more modestly. As for having guests, my advice is, once the holidays are over, don't invite anyone over anymore. Don't host anyone. Try to do without having guests, because guests remember the years 1937, 1936. Just read history, study it, okay? Who was it that betrayed? Who sold others out? Because of whom did people end up in the gulags, in prisons, or beaten in the NKVD basements on Lubyanka? Because of their friends who would come over and feel envious. So my advice is simply this: don't try to show off your luxury. Where it's possible, but in Switzerland it is possible, though not everywhere, not in every city is it possible now. At ski resorts, it's possible. Even so, that sense of grand luxury is gone. When I look at the celebrations held inside expensive hotels, it's clear that the gloss and glamour have disappeared. Yes, people dress richly, expensively, well, but firstly, many of the old folks who loved that glamour have passed away. Many of them are no longer with us. But by the way, there are other elderly people who are still alive too. Why? Because they take care of themselves and their health. I wish you good health in the coming year. Good health. Take care of yourselves, look after your health, and pay attention to how you look. Every cell in your body needs to be healthy. Otherwise, you'll be in trouble. There won't be any doctors. There won't be anyone. Where will you turn for help? That's why you should learn to heal yourselves. I wish you a happy new year. And Merry Christmas, which is making its way around the world. This is the holiday of Christmas. I don't associate it at all with Christ or any other Jewish fairy tale. It's a holiday that was invented for the people, and people are happy to celebrate these holidays. Today is December 12th, 2025. I am Tanya Karatsubo Seyit Burkan. Give gifts, give gifts. Don't be stingy. Life is so short. Give gifts to your loved ones. Give gifts to everyone you like, to those you care about. Leave something of yourself. Who knows, maybe tomorrow your house will be bombed. Leave good memories of yourself with your friends, your acquaintances, your children, your parents. Leave a piece of your warm heart in your gifts. Congratulate people. By the way, thank you to everyone who congratulated me and continues to do so. Thank you. I won't mention names, but I write to each of you personally in private. Thank you for your holiday greetings. And take care of your friends.